What's going on, you guys? It's Ron here with your third stimulus check update and stimulus package update. I hope you guys are doing very well today on this beautiful Saturday. I've got very good news to share with you guys. The House Budget Committee has just released the full text of all 591 pages of the all-new $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And I'm going to go ahead and break this down for you guys. There is a lot of opportunity, a lot of money in this package. And I'm going to go over the details in this package that will actually be able to put stimulus checks, stimulus money into your pockets. And the size of this stimulus package actually surprised me a little bit, especially when you compare it to the number of pages that was in the previous stimulus packages like the CARES Act. You had the HEROES Act as well. And each of these stimulus packages had thousands of pages in them. I remember watching AOC in one of her recent, maybe not recent, couple months back, one of her previous videos showing how the stimulus package was literally being wheeled in on a cart. Those stimulus package bills were that big. But anyway, this one's 591 pages. Still definitely not something that you can read by your bedside in one night, but definitely a lot shorter than the other ones. And in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down the actual bill and the parts that could mean more money into your pockets, and more importantly, the latest updates on the $1,400 stimulus checks and when we can actually start seeing those hitting our bank accounts. But first, I want to say welcome back to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And for those who are brand new to the channel, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, investing, how to generate multiple streams of income, and of course, stimulus check updates and stimulus package updates. So if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. But here's the good news, guys. The House Democrats just last night released the full details of the $1.9 trillion stimulus package in a 591-page bill that looks very much like the American Rescue Plan that President Biden was presenting to us just last month. I mean, look at this bill here. I mean, this is a full 591 pages, lots of legal jargon in here. I'm gonna break down the important parts. I've already kind of identified what we're gonna go over today. 591 pages, no one wants to go over that. So I'm gonna simplify things for you and just go over the important pieces of information that about 99% of you guys are gonna care about. And many of you guys who are on Social Security, SSI, SSDI recipients, I got you guys. VA, you receive SSA. A lot of you guys are commenting in previous video comments asking, Ron, how come no one talks about SSI recipients? No one talks about Social Security people. I'm going to touch on that also in this video. And while I'm on the subject of SSI as well as SSDI, Social Security, and so forth, I created a special video just for you guys. I'll drop a link in the description down below so that you guys can view that video. Literally, the whole video that I created was literally just talking about stimulus check money, stimulus money available for people who receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI. So definitely hit that link. I put a lot of effort into it, and I also shared lots of insight, not only on currently available money, but also future proposals that should open the doors for additional stimulus check money for those who are receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, as well as I went into a lot of detail on the $200 per month stimulus check or stimulus monthly boost for Social Security recipients. So be sure to check that out. If you guys are receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, if you haven't already watched that video, you're really missing out on a lot of content that I've actually condensed into a video that's about 10 minutes long. So everything you need to know about SSI, SSDI, Social Security benefits is in that video. Don't miss that one. All right, so anyway, we're gonna go over the 591 page bill that, like I said, it looks pretty much just like the American Rescue Plan that President Biden shared with us last month, meaning that most of the things that he talked about that, he was trying to push through, he is still pushing through. So that's very good news. And, he also said himself, critics of my plan say it's too big and that it costs $1.9 trillion. They say it's too much, but he was basically saying, what would they have him cut? What do they want him to leave out? Basically he feels that everything in there is incredibly critical, and it's kind of like, what part of your body do you want to cut off? No part, right? Because every part of your body is critical, and so is this stimulus package that President Biden put together. Also, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, make no mistake, the era of Mitch McConnell's legislative graveyard is over. And that's right, you guys. He was talking about the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, including the $1,400 stimulus check. And in his letter to colleagues yesterday, Chuck Schumer said that the whole spending package is on track to be on President Biden's desk, and get this, ahead of the March 14th unemployment insurance benefits cliff. And according to him, he said we have to meet this deadline. And that's a direct quote from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. And with that in mind, the earliest that we should be seeing the $1,400 stimulus checks hitting our bank accounts through direct deposits is through the week of March 22nd, paper checks during the week of March 29th, economic impact payment cards or the debit cards during the week of April 5th. So again, that's all the week of March 22nd when the stimulus checks will actually start hitting our bank accounts. And just to give you guys a quick recap before we go into the exact details of this bill, and we're also going to hear from President Biden later in this video, but here's some important dates that I want you guys to be aware of. So you got February 15th through the 19th. This is we ended the week with the House Budget Committee releasing the full text of the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Okay, so this is what just passed. Now going into next week, we're talking about February 22nd through the 26th. From the text, the Budget Committee will do their markups, meaning that some minor amendments will go down to the House floor for a vote. If all goes well, which we expect it will, then it should move on to the Senate the week after that, right? So then now before March 14th, like Chuck Schumer said, they're vowing to get this done before March 14th. So we'll probably see very minimal changes in their version of the bill. And once they pass it, that's all that would be left for President Joe Biden to be able to sign off on this, which he's all too willing to do already, and get the money out to the American people. And before we dive into the American Rescue Plan details that have already been released, let us first hear from President Joe Biden on the stimulus and the American Rescue Plan.
So job number one of the American Rescue Plan is vaccines. Vaccines. The second, the American Rescue Plan is going to keep the commitment of $2,000. $600 has already gone out. $1,400 checks to people who need it. This is money directly in people's pockets. They need it. We need to target that money, so folks making $300,000 don't get any windfall. But if you're a family that's a two-wage earner, each of the parents, one making 30 grand, one making 40 or 50, maybe that's a little more than, well, yeah, they need the money, and they're going to get it. And here's what I won't do. I'm not cutting the size of the checks. They're going to be $1,400, period. That's what the American people were promised. Very quickly, here's the rest of my plan. It has money for food and nutrition.
I just want to pause the video right quick. First, since many of you guys have asked in the comments who will qualify for the $1,400 stimulus check this time. Also, many of you who received Social Security, SSI, SSDI, SSA benefits. I'm talking about you guys as well here when I say that if you qualify for the first round of $1,200 stimulus checks from the CARES Act, then you should probably qualify for the third stimulus checks. Also, if you qualify for the second round of the $600 stimulus checks that we received just a few months ago, then you should also qualify for the third stimulus checks as well. So I hope I'm being very clear when I say this. This goes for those who are receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, SSA benefits. So I just wanted to clarify that because a lot of you guys asked me specifically as if you guys feel like you're going to be excluded, and I want to make sure that I'm explicit when I say this. So let's go ahead and jump back into the video from President Joe Biden.
$100, period. That's what the American people were promised. Very quickly, here's the rest of my plan. It has money for food and nutrition so that folks don't go hungry. I think our Republican friends are going to support that. It extends unemployment insurance, which is going to run out on March 13th of this year to the end of September of this year, because we're still going to have high unemployment. It helps small businesses, thousands of whom have had to go out of business. It has money to help folks pay their health insurance. It has rental assistance to keep people in their homes rather than being thrown out in the street. It's got money to help us open our schools safely. There's money for child care, for paid leave. It gets needed resources of state and local governments to prevent layoffs of essential personnel, firefighters, nurses, folks who are school teachers, sanitation workers. It raises the minimum wage. It's big and it's bold, and it's a real answer to the crisis we're in. That's one more thing, and I want to say it very clearly on this, be very clear on this point. It's better economics. It not only addresses the immediate crisis we're in, It's better for the long-term economic health of our nation and our competitiveness. My plan creates more jobs, creates more economic growth, and does more to make us competitive with the rest of the world than any other plan.
All right, guys, so you just heard it from President Joe Biden, and the full text of the third stimulus check package have come out just last night, straight from the House Budget Committee Chair John Yarmuth, after putting together the different parts that came from the 9 different House committees that worked on them. Now, in Yarmuth's words, he says that the reconciliation bill is the first step toward implementing the American Rescue Plan and finally changing the direction of these crises. We have the plan and the fiscal space, and we have the American people behind us, and now we have the bill to get it done. All right, so now let's jump into the details of the final House package, right? All right, so let's go ahead and just cover some of the main highlights here. All right, so first off, most importantly, everybody wants to know about the stimulus checks. This is the third stimulus check that is going out. It looks like the House bill will provide direct stimulus checks, direct payments worth up to $1,400 per person. A family of 4 could receive up to $5,600. This is a big deal, guys. $5,600 for a family of 4. Also, individuals earning less than $75,000 a year and married couples earning less than $150,000 per year will receive the full amount. We talked about this previously. If you make more than that, basically for every $1,000 that you make over that, you're going to start seeing that stimulus check amount begin to decline. So that's definitely going to be a factor for higher income workers, higher income earners. But of course, if you earn less than $75,000 per year as a single filer, you're going to get the full amount. Less than $150,000 for joint filers, you should see the full $2,800. So very good news. And of course, for a family of 4, $5,600 as we covered just a moment ago. All right, so let's jump into unemployment assistance. Guys, so we're expecting unemployment boosts to end as of March 14th. So this is why March 14th is such a big deadline, just because it's going to affect so many people who are currently receiving the extended or the boosted unemployment benefits. They will end if this doesn't pass on time. So according to this, the House will extend 2 key pandemic unemployment programs through August 29th. It would also increase the federal weekly boost from the current $300 per week up to $400 per week and continue it for the same time period. So that would be great news. Not only would it extend the unemployment insurance benefits, but it's also going to increase the amount that's paid out per week. So that's huge. It's going to lengthen the duration of the pandemic unemployment assistance program to up to 74 weeks from currently 50 weeks. And this is huge because the pandemic unemployment insurance benefit covers so many more people that would normally not qualify for traditional unemployment insurance benefits. And if you guys are, not working a traditional job where you normally couldn't apply and get approved for unemployment insurance, I want you guys to be aware of this because a lot of people have left money on the table thinking that they can't qualify because you don't have a regular W-2 job. A lot of people can qualify for the pandemic unemployment insurance benefits, also known as the PUA. Now, this benefit covers freelancers, gig workers, independent contractors, and certain people affected by the pandemic. So I just want you guys to be aware of that. We've got nutrition assistance in here. It says that the plan would extend the 15% increase in the food stamps benefits through September instead of having it expire at the end of June. All right. It also contains $880 million for the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, also known as WIC. That's very good. It's also going to allow states to continue their pandemic EBT programs. Also, housing aid. Look at this. Legislation will send roughly $19.1 billion to state and local governments to help with low-income households to be able to recover from back rent, assistance, and utilities. So very good news there. And what I liked about that is they didn't just cover renters, they also cover, people with mortgages are affected as well. Tax credits for families and workers. Now this could actually be worth more than the stimulus checks themselves, right? In effort to combat poverty, it would expand the child tax credit to $3,600 for children under the age of 6 and $300 for children under the age of 18. Now, this was what was discussed as being paid monthly. So we could actually be seeing monthly stimulus, assuming that this stimulus package does get passed as planned, as currently written. We've got optional paid sick and family leave. Many people who don't have those benefits by default through their job, it looks like the federal government is going to be providing those benefits through October 1st. It also says that Congress guaranteed many workers 2 weeks pay if they contracted COVID or were quarantining. It also provided an additional 10 weeks of family paid leave for those who were staying home with kids or those who had schools who were closed. We've also got education and childcare. All right, looks like they're going to allocate $130 billion to K through 12 schools to be able to help students be able to return back to school. We've heard from Nancy Pelosi, Dr. Fauci many times, indicating what was going to be required in order to be able to effectively reopen schools safely. So they've allocated $130 billion for K through 12 schools. And the bill would also provide $39 billion to child care providers. So if you're running a daycare, maybe you're generating income at home, maybe you're babysitting, it looks like $39 billion is going to be allocated simply just for child care providers. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. I know a lot of you guys were making extra money on the side because, a lot of people couldn't go back to work because their kids were at home because of digital learning. But many of you have opened your doors, opened your homes up to provide daycare and childcare for those who had to go to work, which was pretty smart. And so it looks like many of you may actually be open to the opportunity of receiving some of this $39 billion, which has been allocated to childcare providers. I'll definitely provide you guys with more information on that and how you can claim that money. The minimum wage is in this bill. It says that legislation would increase the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour by 2025 in stages. And if we look at the details here within the bill, we can actually see, and this is from the 591-page bill, we can see how they're planning on bumping up that minimum wage from, I think it's $7.25 per hour up to $15 per hour. All right, so it says here $950 per hour beginning on effective date under Section 2001. Then it's going to bump up to $11 per hour beginning year one, $12.50 per hour beginning year two, $14 per hour by year three, $15 per hour beginning years 4 and afterwards. So that is how they're going to be stair-stepping or staging in this $15 per hour. It's not going to just go from $7.25 today to, if the bill gets passed in March, it's going to be, $15 per hour in April. It's not going to work that way. So now you guys have the full perspective on how the minimum wage is going to work. But anyway, guys, that is all for the stimulus check update and stimulus package update. I just want to give you guys a full spectrum on what to expect in terms of the, big buckets of money available for you from this upcoming stimulus package that is looking very good, looking like it's definitely going to pass here. If you guys have any questions for me, definitely drop them in the comments down below. I just want to give you guys a quick update on this since this was breaking news, a lot of information out there. Wanted to make sure I got this out to my people. So if you haven't already, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support here. The family's grown to 260,000 members. I really appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the notification bell so that you know as soon as I release new videos and content. But anyway, that is all for the stimulus check update and stimulus package update. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take care.